Hi, my name is Mia Henderson, and I'm a second year student at the University of Brighton. As part of my degree in English Language and Media, I had the opportunity to intern at one of the up and coming indie and music venues in Brighton, the Old Market. I had the chance to write for a multi genre festival of the arts, committed to female empowerment through the arts. Had you told me a year ago that I'd be the social media and marketing assistant at this boundary breaking theatre, I wouldn't have believed you. Then again, had you told me I'd be delivering this speech from my bedroom in a global pandemic, I probably wouldn't have believed you either. But here we are. When deciding on a placement, I hope to gain some insight into the field of marketing and how it exists in the rapidly changing world of social media. On a personal level, I wanted to create meaningful content that readers could really resonate with. And the Old Market's Reigning Women Festival allowed me to do that and so much more. In my role as marketing and social media assistant, my daily tasks varied, from assisting in the interviews of guest artists to providing live coverage of the festival events, as well as writing feature articles on their website, just to name a few. I was fortunate enough to work around the most inspiring local creatives while learning valuable lessons in the digital marketing and social media industries, all before this worldwide lockdown. And today I'm going to share them with you. Lesson 1. Make the most of your internship. When I started my internship, I knew that practical experience in the digital marketing industry would be very useful, not just as a CV filler, but as a way that I could apply my theory that I'd acquired from my degree. But I didn't know what that practical experience would look like, or how I could attain it, until the opportunity to assist in the interview of poet and playwright Cecilia Knapp presented itself. Initially, I was hesitant to ask my supervisor to be involved, as this opportunity was neither in my job description nor on a day I was technically contracted to work. But I soon realised that this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity would not wait around for me to overcome my anxieties, and that the only way I could gain that experience was if I just asked. So I did, and my supervisors instantly took me on board, teaching me how to set up the cameras and sound equipment, and even allowed me to come up with few questions which were used in the promotional video for the event. The following day, I learned to edit the promotional video via Premiere, which was later uploaded to the Old Market social media. In interviewing Cecilia, I gained valuable practical experience to frame my theoretical understanding of interview styles and journalism. As an example, it became clear to me the importance of making an interview feel comfortable and listened to, as this allows them to speak freely and at length to the questions that you'd asked. Had I not been asked to be involved in this interview, I would not have had the opportunity in a safe learning environment to develop my interview skills and learn of all the things that goes on behind the curtains of a successful interview. Also, I wouldn't have developed my practical experience in video editing. Among all the things that I learned from this one day, perhaps the most important was to make the most of any opportunity that presents itself in your internship or your first job. Now, how do I do this? Well, while going into an interview or new work experience might be scary, in making the most of your opportunity, it helps you to work out what you want to get out of the experience, but also to open yourself to opportunities which allow you to explore your interest within this field. It also helps to make your supervisor or employer aware of your interests, if and when they arise, and don't be afraid to ask to be involved in the things that interest you. Lesson 2. Know your strengths, but open yourself up to learning new skills. As a marketing and social media assistant at the Old Market, my main task was to write articles for the Tom website, promoting the acts in the Reigning Women Festival. This task allowed me to draw on my knowledge of my journalistic writing from my degree, as well as previous work experience in writing for the Newsday, a daily newspaper in my home country, as well as interning with the Red Cross. While journalistic writing is something that I'm relatively familiar with, this task challenged me to write with a marketing slant, so as to maintain my readers' interest while persuading them to come to the events. As this writing style is new to me, I considered the implications of applying similar styles of academic and journalistic writing. While a journalistic style will ensure an interesting read, it would not achieve the theatre's goals of selling tickets, specifically to one show of which few bought tickets to see. This considered, I employed a number of strategic writing strategies, including repetition of the key points, like the name of the festival and the titles of the shows which aren't selling tickets, as it is widely proven that repetition improves consumers' ability to recall information, thus increasing the chances of them buying tickets. In using these rhetorical strategies, audiences can use the personal benefits of buying a ticket to the show while financially benefiting the organisation. These strategies proved to be effective, as my article increased reader interaction with the Old Market website by 40%, according to the website metrics. This allowed me to play to my strengths in journalistic writing, while also giving me the opportunity to learn new skills in promotional writing. Lesson 3. Know the story that you want to tell and how to tell it. This lesson was one that I learnt when I was tasked with providing social media coverage of one of the events in the Raining Women season. In previous work experience in digital marketing industries, I thought the most important thing was the software and social media platforms, as it was the means by which we can connect with an audience. But since completing my placement, I better understood that in creating that connection, the means of communication is almost as important as the story that you tell your audience. This became clear to me on my first social media takeover, where I attended events in the Raining Women season and tasked with posting live updates of the events to my social media. As I'd never done a social media takeover, I did my research, and the literature highlighted the importance of creating a social media strategy. That is, outlining what you're going to post, when you're going to post it, and the story that you want to tell in these series of posts. I also took advice from the Hootsuite's Guide to Social Media Event Promotion, as I wanted to create a series of posts that showed audience anticipation of the event, highlighting the success of the event in empowering women in and through the arts. In creating my strategy, I felt it necessary to note possible restrictions that I might encounter, which included the fact that not everyone in the audience would like to be photographed, and that as an intern at the theatre venue, I could not record inside the actual performance space, as my videoing inside the event could give away performers' surprise acts, costumes, or set design. So I was challenged to create a series of posts to the Instagram story, which had a message that considered the limitations, while at the same time fulfilling my personal aim in this internship to create meaningful content that would resonate with audiences. With that in mind, I decided to focus on the Instagram story on the aim of the Raining Women Festival to offer a platform for up-and-coming female artists, while also giving back to local community of women from whence the new generation of creatives might come. Having raised over £1,000 for the Brighton Women's Centre, I wanted to focus on the theatre's continued commitment to this charity and the women whose lives they hope to improve through continued commitment in this charity, through donations as well, as these intentions of the old markets were one that I believe that audiences weren't necessarily aware of. To achieve this, I posted a time-lapse of the bar filling up with an Instagram filter of the countdown to the event, followed by a video which signals the 10 minutes to showtime, followed by a picture of the audience seated in the performance hall, patiently awaiting the opening act. As mentioned previously, I didn't want to take photographs of the performance and the performance space, but in recording the audience, I highlighted how packed the sold-out show was to encourage viewers and potential theatre-goers to come to more Tom events due to its popularity. Considering this, I didn't feel it necessary to post during intermission, as I didn't want to bombard Tom followers with lots of Instagram stories. Finally, my last post was of the display of the Brighton Women's Centre. In the caption, I explained that the attendance at the show was to raise both donations and awareness of the charity's partnership with the Old Market in the Raining Women season. Through the Old Market Instagram story, I showed the potential audience that giving back to a local charity can be as easy as attending your favourite female artists, and the floods of people in the performance hall is proof of how easy and fun it is to give back. From this, I learnt the power of storytelling through social media, as my posts encourage audiences to attend future events for the benefit of the women in the Brighton Women's Centre, as well as the Old Market's Theatre, who continue to empower women through the arts. In most of my internship at the Old Market, I have learnt many valuable lessons that I will take with me in both my personal and professional life. I learned that in digital marketing, the story that you tell is almost as important, if not more important, than the way that you tell it. And I was able to develop my skills in journalistic writing, learn new techniques and the power of promotional writing, all the while increasing readership on the Old Market website. It is safe to say that I achieved all that I wanted to and more from this internship. It was an unforgettable experience, and at the same time, it allowed me to make meaningful connections with future mentors and potential employers. So, for the students watching who aren't sure of what they want to study or even what job they want to do, my advice is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to apply for the dream job or the dream internship because you're not sure of what interests you'll find along the way. Thanks for listening to my presentation. I hope that it finds you well and that you're safe in these strange times.